action.
Action.
All right, welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to be working on my sweet wife's salon chair. Now, just so y'all know, I've never worked on a salon chair, but like I say time and time again, being a good mechanic is understanding the mechanical principles. So we got the tools, we got the know-how, let's go put it to good use. Come on, let's see the bicep. Get him out of the thing. Okay, now the first thing we've got to fix on this thing is, she was telling me that it seemed pretty wobbly the other day when she had one of her customers on it, and as you can see, the bolts holding the bottom were just about falling out. So it's a good thing we're going to do something about this now before we got sued and lost everything we own. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten them up with Loctite, like they should have been tightened up from the factory. A lot of y'all are probably wondering why y'all see a lot of videos with me out here in my pole barn where it's hot or cold, depending on what time of the year, instead of being inside my air-conditioned shop or my heated shop right behind me. Well, that's because I got so many other projects in there that are taking up room, that these little piddly things that I got to do for myself a lot of times, well, this is where I do them. All right, let's get the Loctite. Now, I don't know, a lot of y'all may not be familiar with Loctite. The 242, the blue Loctite, or 243 blue Loctite is what you're going to use on fasteners like this, or exterior fasteners on a motorcycle or on a vehicle and stuff. It's your removable Loctite. All of them are removable, but this is the one that it doesn't take a whole lot of force to break it loose, and you don't have to have heat like you do on red or green Loctite. So anyway, well, it's plugged up, so we got to do it this way. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. That's all you need. Now, just so y'all know that, and I learned this about Loctite when I was working at the paper mill. They actually sent us to, I think it was 2-day long Loctite class that was put on by Loctite. Anyway, the way Loctite works is it's anaerobic, which means that it hardens up by removing air or oxygen from it. So when you tighten it up in there, like if it was just sitting here on the ground, it'd never harden up like super glue or an epoxy. But the way this works is when it's threaded in there and the air is removed from the equation, well, that's when it hardens up. That's a little fun fact for y'all. Now, the other problem she was saying she was having is it's not going up and down. So we're going to take the, I don't know if it's hydraulic or air. It could be either one, but we're going to take it apart. Might have an O-ring that is messed up.
Oop.
Well, it's hard to look cool when that happens. All right. Tighten it down, and then we'll check on this pump. Okay, let's flip it over and see how we take this stuff apart. Looks like we've got a bolt right there for the cover. All right, let's take this over to the bench. Let's double check the straightness on the shaft again, and let's mic it in a few places. We'll mic that bore too. I'm wondering if this piece right here, it looks like this goes where this rod goes through it, this actuator, and that sits on it like that and acts as a guide for this. And I wonder if this might have been cockeyed or jiggling back and forth or something. You can even see the wear on it where it's connected to the shaft, where it rubs right there. This piece had to be what was binding against it, because the shaft moves in and out easy by hand with that piece out of it. We've just got to get that back in here. We see where it's riding it pretty hard. That's where the shaft is riding up and down on it. We ought to take a few thousandths off that so that we can free it up a little better. I believe that's going to be the issue. So what we're going to do, there's no need for me to chuck up boring bars and all kinds of stuff to get the particular radius of this. We're just going to take off just a few thousandths. So I'm just going to use a grinding stone. But let's go ahead and get our dimension, and then we'll know where we're at. Remember, always check and make sure that you're on 0, like that. All right, so we're taking it off right there. So let's get our measurement like this. All right, so that right there, and 33 thousandths. So let's try to grind off, let's say 15. Try that first and see where we're at. All right, let's check it up. Hey, we're just trying to get it pretty close. This is just a Salon chair, not a rocket ship. Okay, I feel resistance all the way down, so we're pretty dang level. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna fire it up, and when we're not gonna feed it, have it in one spot, the stone, and feed into it. I think it's better to come in a few thousandths and then pull down and grind that part off, then come in a few thousandths anyway. So here we go. So we're going to come in 5 thousandths. All right, we're going to try that. That took it down to exactly where we were shooting for. No, yeah, one other thing we need to do, and I got to figure out how I want to do this. We're going to want to, now that we ground off some of that, we're going to want to chamfer these edges so that it doesn't bind on it. And some of that could also have been the problem, but we're going to try to eliminate all that. All right, so we want to lock the quill. That way it's not, because I do have power feed, well, kind of, but we don't want it going down. Anyway, what we're going to do, we've got to chamfer that 90-degree off that edge to keep it from biting. I don't want to create a problem. So anyway, I'm going to try to do it like this, hopefully. All right, this side's pretty good. Okay. Y'all saw me do this on this part right here in a milling machine. Didn't have to use a milling machine. I just happened to have a milling machine. You could have chucked one of them stones up just like that in a 1/2-inch drill or a die grinder or anything that you got, and put this in a vise and done it by hand and been just as good. But like I say, if you watch my videos and you learn how to fix all this stuff, you're not paying somebody else And then you can save money, like I did, and buy tools. The more tools you have, the easier the job is, the more jobs you can do. Alright, we got it in there. Now let's see if it slides back and forth a little easier. That seemed to help. I think we might be on track here. Alright, let's go back out there and put it all back together. Okay, I think that's all that we had to do, honestly. So, I mean, whatever chair you're working on, like I said, I've never done this before, but I just used my experience from the years of working on bikes, working on cars, working in the paper mill, building steel mills. Machines, they're all basically the same. Now this is some, I know it says fork oil on there, that's because that's what I use it for. But this is some hydraulic fluid that the paper mill graciously donated to me so that I can make these videos. But they don't know they did it. All right, let's clean this funnel out with this dirty rag. That's it. And you just go ahead and put your chair back on. It just sits on there like that. Well, before you sit on it, go get you a cold beer and celebrate a saving money and a job well done. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Like I say over and over again, if you want to see the camera crew and the editors get fed, then we're gonna need them views. Anyway, till next time.